another one. Work has been rough and tough lately, so let's have some fun with this one. Like the title suggests, this one is about finances, and I'm sure you're asking, what what has this got to do with living in peace, right? You know, money is at the root of all evil, and unfortunately, in relationships, in marriages, in homes, in offices, and even in businesses, money is at the root of it all. And if you don't spend it or save it wisely, you're creating a situation for disaster. I wanted to talk about how to manage your finances using the Numbers app on Apple's MacBook. You can also use Microsoft Excel. That's actually how I started. I don't have the Excel app now, on my laptop, but maybe I'll do another video on how to budget using that, using Microsoft Excel another time. Some of us might not know the importance of budgeting, and I'm still amazed at how not a lot of people know some basics on a lot of issues, especially about managing money. So, I decided I'm going to help. What I know might even be laughable to someone who knows a lot more than I do, but I always believe in sharing because that's how I'll learn from you what I don't know, and you might be able to pick some things here and there from what I know, right? They always say two heads are better than one. If God blesses us with $5, let us use our budgeting skills to make it last till He blesses us with more than that, and so on. My name is Laraddiji. Let's talk about budgeting. Okay, so on your MacBook computer, you go to the Numbers app, and you just click on it, and you click the blank one. Just double click, and a table comes up, like a blank slate of table, and this is how you start. There's a table section. You can pick whichever table you want. You can always play around with this until you figure out the type of table you want. And we'll be working with the rows and column. You can change the sizes of those. And the cell shows what happens to the boxes that you have. You can highlight the sides. And there's a section for the colors. You can change the colors as you want. Play with it first before you do your final table. All right, so after you've kind of played with that, then you can start your budgeting table. I have a finished one on the bottom, so I'm just trying to recreate that on the top. So what I'm doing here is just moving it around. You'll feel a stop, a block on the table as you move it around with the circle. You can delete the table name, or you can leave it and change the title. Okay, so you can set your title name. I'm doing my monthly budget here. And because I'm a perfectionist, for some reason, I like to change the table's font. I'm using euphorigenic font. I don't know why I like it. Okay, so we're going to be making 13 columns, and you do that by clicking the parallel lines over there. Here you can write the title of your top column. It's kind of redundant over here. I don't know why I'm writing this, but the top left corner doesn't really need any writing. The first column, which is the A column, can be that's the title of your expenses. And here I'm making How many columns am I making here? 20 columns. I'm making 20 because I've done this before, so I know how many to make, but you can figure it out as you go along. Whenever you click that circle at the top, it selects the whole table. Write the title of the top columns. So here I have my budget, credit card, credit score, credit APR, credit card limits, credit card balance, and the minimum amount of your credit card. The rest will just be the months that you're doing. I used to do bi-monthly, January, February, but then I realized I could just do half of the year. So January up until June at this point. So it's up to you. I put in the months that I can see, because the longer, then you have to keep scrolling, and I want everything to be right in front of me when I look at my bills. At this point, you can type down the dates that is important to you. For me, it's the first of the month, because I know that I have to make the payments before the first of the month. If it's the 31st for you, you can put that date. If it's the middle of the month, the 15th, the 12th, the 13th, you can put any date here. But the first is, mine. That's what I like using, the first. I just feel like monthly makes everything easier. So here you can write down your jobs, right? Starting with your jobs, depending on how many jobs you have, you can write those jobs down in the rows, and you'll put a total section. You can also demarcate the rows by making the line bolder, by doing that in the table section. All right. So use border lines if you want to demarcate sections of your bills to your liking, and then continue writing your expenses. For me, I'm writing the my jobs. I only have one. I don't know why I said jobs. My savings account, emergency fund, car insurance if you have a car. If you have a phone that you're paying for, you can put that. If you pay for heat, you can put that. If you have school loans, you can put that. If you pay for laundry and you need money for laundry, you can put that as your expenses. You don't want to forget that, when you're budgeting. If you need money, if you're the shopper, every weekend shopper, you can put that. And your credit card. Your credit cards, if you have more than one. All right. And as you can see here, I'm demarcating the credit section with the bold lines. And I always have a total, so I know how much I owe for all my cards in one section, and how much I have to pay, It just makes everything easier. It looks a little bit complicated now, but trust me, when you have everything on a whole page, it makes everything so much easier. And I put this section in the bank section because, if you have leftover from what you've budgeted, then awesome. You know, we need to leave something in the bank, right? You can minimize the size of the boxes by reducing the column size here. Okay. Put down the due date of your credit cards, your current credit score, your APR, your credit limit, your credit card balances, and your minimum amount to pay so that you can pay them on time and track your payments. All right, so let's get to the juicy part. Place the average of your last two paycheck amounts for the month of January, or whatever month you're starting to work on. It's May now, so I guess for May, uh, or you can use your April paycheck to kind of gauge how much you make in a month. All right, and then you put it in January's box. Place the average of your last two paycheck amounts for the month of April in the work box. Then use a sum by clicking the rows you want to be added up. And then you click the insert button and you see sum. You click sum and you see that you see the sum of that in the total section. Add amounts for the rest of the row sections while making sure not to exceed the amount total of your paycheck amounts. That's what budgeting is. If it is over the amount of your paycheck, for this table is $2,000. If it's over that amount, then you have to adjust the amount of your expenses by prioritizing from most important to least important. Do the same to the credit section. You can choose your currency. This can be done earlier or when you're done with the whole table. I like to do it at, when I'm done with the whole table so I know where I need the dollar sign to come out, to come to show. Um, I'm trying to get a better date format, but it's not working, so mm, really doesn't matter. You can name your table here so it's not just blank and boring. Since I don't need all these boxes, I can merge all of them. The size of these two rows got bigger, so I reduced it by using this, making it all 30 in height in the table section on the right. So copy the January section by holding Command and then C together and paste it to the columns for February all the way to June by holding Command V together. I made sure the totals transferred over as well. Just to be really extra, you can add it all up only row by row though. It doesn't add everything up at one time. So just do a row by row to make sure your additions were done correctly. Uh, I took out the bank section because I balanced my budget to my liking. If you need the section in the section, the bank section, then you can keep it. If there are boxes marched, you won't be able to move rows up and down. That's why I unmarched the boxes first, then move the rows around. You can do that by double clicking or holding down the row number, and you'll be able to move the rows up and down. You can change the color of the sections as well. For me, red and bold is what I need. That's the amount I know I need to pay. Like that's the section that I know I need to pay. And green section, the green section is what I know is mine. And the black and light is, to me, what I've paid. So I know if I see anything that's bold and it's in red, that's something I owe and I need to pay it off. Then I go to my website and pay it off. There are many other colors, you can use them as you like. When you're done, you can re-merge the boxes you need. You can change your fonts and sizes as well. All right. That's my table, my budgeting table. Of course, if you have more expenses and you have more money coming into your account in different ways, then it becomes a little bit more complex. But you can play with it. All right? Thank you. All right. Peace. Okay, so once you know what's coming into your account and the payments you need to make, your expenses for the month, you can then figure out how much is left in your account at the end of the day. There is nothing worse than spending, more, spending the money you don't have and then have to rely on credit cards. When you've budgeted your positives, which is the money you have on hand, then you can manage your negatives, which is what you owe. It gives you an idea of how to prioritize the remaining amount of money that you do have. That is why you try to use your credit card as little as possible, because your credit score will go down as you utilize your credit card and your card balance rise up, which makes it hard to get an apartment, or maybe you want to get a car. You might be able to get one, but your payments might be very high. I'm not a financial expert. I'm a nurse and a very regular person, all right? But this is what I've learned from my experiences so far with budgeting what I have. That's all for now, my people. If you're new to this channel, my name is Laraddiji. Ask questions, leave a comment, and like this video. You know, you can do so by giving it a thumbs up if you want some more on this topic. To get notified of newly posted video, click that red button and subscribe now. Why wait? Right? The next video is about my twins and their mission in life in my School of Fraternal Twins section of this channel. Do check out my other suggested videos in the description box below. I'm hoping to read from you guys very soon. And as a reminder, don't forget to love your neighbor as yourself. And remember, to rest in peace, we all need to be living in peace. Stay blessed.